Hey guys, we are talking about analyze poetry. We're talking about the analyze poetry assignment. I really like this assignment. I had to make this one from scratch, so I think it's pretty cool. But it's an analyzing poetry assignment. So what you're going to do is you're going to first choose a poem. So I've got three poems here: "Legal Alien" by Pat Mora, Maya Angelou's "Awakening in New York," and Margaret Atwood's "You Fit Into Me." So these are three very different poems. You can choose whichever one you want. I promise you, just because this one's short doesn't mean that it's easy, and just because this one's long doesn't mean that it's hard. They're all pretty equally difficult, and honestly, if I had to say one's the hardest, it's probably the shortest one because you don't get as much explanation with it. So what you're going to do is first you're going to choose one of these. Whichever one you choose, just copy and paste the name right into this box to where I know which poem you're actually writing about, right? And then part two, you're going to go down, and there are, I think, 11 questions, really 10, because the last one's just any additional comments that you have about the poem, but 10 questions about the poem, okay? Um, and a lot of these are ones that you're going to be making assumptions on. And what an assumption is like an educated guess, kind of like a hypothesis in science class when you're doing an experiment, right? So you're going to be taking kind of an educated guess of why the poem was written. If you look at these poems, maybe why did they want to write that down in the first place? What's the point, right? Um, Figure out who might they be talking to. Um, what might the occasion be? Look at that stuff. It might be able to help you out to find it. Again, you're making assumptions, so there's not a truly correct answer here, but you have to be making an educated guess, you know? So then the next one is, what is the central purpose of the poem or the theme? Like, what's the message that the author's trying to tell us? And you may have kind of answered that up in here with why the poem was written. It may help you out to know which one that is. It may help you to be able to do that. Does it have a setting? It may or may not. You can say no to this if your poem does not have a setting. That's totally fine. If it does have a setting, though, tell us. Looking at the diction. So if you get to like this one's a good one to point this out on. If you get to like diction here and you're like, what the hell is diction? I have no idea what diction is. I've never talked about this. What is this? If you scroll down, I have a part 3 here that is just definitions. All it is definitions of different things to be able to help you out with. So if you just look down, oh, look, diction is word choice, intentional and style and meaning. Okay, it's just the word choice. Okay, that makes sense. So now you can go up and say, look at the word choice in the poem, point out words that are particularly well chosen and explain why. Look up any unfamiliar words in a dictionary. Use a dictionary, a dictionary website or app or whatever. Discuss the imagery of the poem. Again, if you don't know that word, you can scroll down. The tone. Again, if you don't know that word, you can scroll down. Find metaphors, similes, personification. You guys are good at metaphors. You should be able to find some. Point out and explain any symbols or allusions. Again, if you don't know those words, just scroll down. Does the poem use anything that creates a noise? Any adaptation to sound? Is there any repetition, like sound repetition? And then describe the form. Is there a rhyme scheme? Is it a certain type of poet, like a poem, like a sonnet or a haiku, right? So, and then any other comments that you have that you just want to put down, like any reactions. These are all questions that are meant to analyze a poem pretty deeply. So not every poem is going to have that. So when we look up here, depending on which poem that you choose, your answers are going to be different down here. And that's totally okay. As long as they actually match the poem that you chose, we Gucci. So yeah, as usual, if you guys have any questions or need any help, I am here. Let me know. I'm happy to help out at any time. Shoot me a private comment or an email. Y'all rock. Have a great day.